How to SpaceX NASA launch that will bring Starliner astronauts home. In 2025, officials had been planning a launch window around the arrival of Hurricane Helene, which made landfall Thursday night in Florida. NASA and SpaceX are still targeting a Saturday launch for the Crew 9 mission, whose astronauts will head to orbit aboard a Dragon spacecraft that will bring the Starliner crew back to Earth next year. Officials had been planning a launch window around the arrival of Hurricane Helene, which made landfall Thursday night in Florida, in another part of the state from where rocket launches take place. The storm, the first known Category 4 storm to ever hit the Big Bend coast, was powerful enough to still send strong winds and heavy rain to the Cape Canaveral area, where NASA's Kennedy Space Center is located. The two Crew 9 astronauts, Nick Hague and Alexander Gorbunov, arrived last Saturday at the Space Center to begin preparations for the imminent launch, which will take place at the neighboring Space Force station. Here's how to watch the Crew 9 takeoff and what to know about the mission. SpaceX Crew 9: What to know about the mission that will return Starliner astronauts. When is the Crew 9 mission scheduled for launch? The Dragon is scheduled to launch atop a Falcon 9 rocket no earlier than 1:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Saturday from Space Launch Complex 40, NASA officials confirmed Friday during a news conference. Once in orbit, the vehicle will separate from the rocket and power onto the International Space Station, where the crew will spend about 5 months. The mission, which was initially set for August 18, was delayed for more than a month while NASA and Boeing officials worked to figure out what to do about the troubled Starliner spacecraft taking up the Dragon's docking port. Now that the Boeing Starliner capsule has returned to Earth intact, albeit without its crew, the Dragon has been cleared for takeoff. But Helene threw a new wrench into the plans, forcing NASA and SpaceX to scuttle the launch another 3 times this week. How to watch the crew. NASA will provide coverage of the launch, the subsequent docking, and the activities that precede the mission. On launch day, coverage begins at 9:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on NASA and the Space Agency's website. Following the ascent, NASA will switch to audio only before coverage resumes at 3:30 p.m. Sunday, when the Dragon prepares to dock and the hatch opens to welcome the astronauts aboard the station. FOIDA part of the network will also provide live coverage at Florida Day. Space. What is the Crew 9 mission? The SpaceX flight represents the 9th crew rotation mission to the station under NASA's Commercial Crew Program, as the agency shifts to paying private companies for missions it once would carry out itself. Once aboard the space station, Hague and Gorbunov will become members of Expedition 72, where they will spend 6 months conducting experiments, research demonstrations, and spacewalks to perform maintenance. Much of it will be to prepare for human exploration deep into the cosmos.